Gary says the system is broken, and I agree. But he says something I think it's not just wrong, but dangerous. He tells millions of people that getting rich today is basically impossible unless you were born into money. He says we shouldn't try to win individually, that only big changes to the system can fix this. I respect his mission, but I think that limiting beliefs hold people back. So today I'm going to explain where Gary gets it wrong. Let's get into it.
It is almost impossible to safely do as a young person nowadays. There's basically one really good method for getting rich in today's society. It's almost foolproof. Have a rich dad. If you failed that one, try again.
That's a wrong statement in so many ways. It might feel true, but it's not. There are tons of people today who didn't come from money and still build wealth. They use the internet. They learn to code, sell, trade, or create content. People like Iman Gadzhi, Alex Hermosi, or Grace Beverly all came from regular families. Gary made his money through trading. He took action, but now he's telling others not to try. It's not easy, but it's also not impossible. Telling people it is, that's a mindset that keeps them stuck.
Realistically, for the younger generation, if you're working, you've already lost basically. It's almost impossible to get rich through your work. The only way to get rich nowadays is to inherit money from your parents.
The system isn't fair, that's true. But that doesn't mean we give up. The problem isn't hard work, it's working hard in the wrong way. Let me explain. If you work 60 hours a week at a job that pays minimum wage, it's tough to get ahead. But if you use that same energy to learn trading, business, content, or how to create value from your skills, you give yourself a shot. The game has changed. It's not about your effort alone. It's about smart effort in the right direction. So if you have no idea where to start, I recommend that you take a look at my 30-minute long video about what I have learned in my 10 years of self-development. You can find a link in the description.
Listen, trading is gambling. Trading is gambling. If you go on, I trade on IG Index, which is a spread betting platform. It says there on the front page, like 75% of accounts lose money. I'm not losing money. And there's professionals on there like me that are not losing money. And there's an old saying, if you don't know who the idiot is at the poker table, you're the idiot. Listen, professional traders like me, if you go out, you're trading against me, you know, and it's dangerous.
Yes, trading is hard. But calling it gambling misses the point. Good traders doesn't win because they're right every time. They win because they have a strategy, they manage their risk, and they stay consistent. You can lose 6 out of 10 trades and still make money if your wins are bigger than your losses. And that's not gambling, that's knowing the odds. The problem is not that trading doesn't work. It's that most people don't learn how to do it properly. Instead of saying, don't trade, we should say, learn how to trade right. That's called financial freedom. That's power through developing your skills.
The truth is, we are losing this battle for question 2. And if we lose this battle for question 2, then your family will be bankrupted. So I came into this game, you know, as an economist who thought a lot about question 1, and I kind of became a campaigner, a YouTuber. I literally taught myself how to write a book because I could see we were going to lose question 2. So I am going to focus for the rest of this video on question 2. The only thing I will say about question 1 is I think we need to deal with the fact that some people say there's no point trying to tax the rich because reducing inequality is impossible. And the answer to that is 100% it is possible because we did it in the 20th century. In the beginning of the 20th century, inequality in this country, across Europe, across the United States was extremely high, and ordinary families like yours and mine lived in desperate poverty. And over the course of the 20th century, we reduced wealth inequality really significantly. That got wealth into the hands of ordinary families, and it led to really significant increases in living standards, which meant that our parents and grandparents lived much, much better lives than people in the early 20th century did. So for now, we need to focus on getting some form of change because if we spend all of our time arguing about the specific form of the change, we won't get anything at all. There's no point arguing about battle tactics until you have an army. So let's talk about how can we force these politicians to give us the things that we need.
Okay, here's the core problem. The worldview promotes collective outrage without individual action. And that's dangerous. Systems do need to change. But waiting for systematic reform while your wealth and purchasing power is declining, that's not a strategy. That's surrender. If you are broke and hoping a politician will fix it, you will be waiting a long time. People who build wealth in hard times don't wait. They adapt, they move, and they find ways to get ahead in the system we have right now. Even Gary made his money by taking action, not by waiting for change.
We are seeing the very rich growing their wealth at 5%, while the economy grows at just 1%. And the way that that is happening is essentially the rich are eating your cake. The rich are taking your assets. And this is why the assets that you own will not be owned by your kids, will not be owned by your grandkids. It is why your kids and grandkids will probably own nothing and be extremely poor and probably quite unhappy. This is what happens when you allow compound interest. The rich eventually eat the middle class.
He is not wrong about the numbers, but his answer is, it's hopeless unless the system changes. That's where I disagree. You don't stop a rigged game by sitting it out. You learn the rules and then you find a smart way to win anyway. So learn how money flows, follow the energies where it's going, crypto, AI, online business. Build an audience, build a skill, own assets that grow. Yes, inequality is real, but so is opportunity if you know where to look. Gary is still stuck in the mindset of tear it all down. But we are in a time where you can build it up faster than ever if you learn how to use the system against itself. So why this is so frustrating for me is because I respect Gary. He's a smart man and he cares. He sees a clear problem, but his solution is too slow, too passive, too focused on blaming the system and seeing yourself as a victim. I'm not saying everyone will get rich, but I'm saying you are not powerless. If you want to learn how to play the game better, not just complaining about it, then subscribe. I'm going to show you how. See you in the next one.